There will be sparkly things to be had.
What should we wear for this, though?
I'm going to be naked.
We should figure that out. Oh, okay. It'll be that kind of podcast now. Huh.
The escalation. Hi, Allie.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Shannon. Shannon, how are you?
I'm doing good. My brain is only like half jumbly today.
Ooh.
I'm like semi with it.
All right.
Yeah. Because I did something that was very rare for me, which was interact with the main group chat that we were in.
You were social today.
It was.
Yeah.
Because guess what today was?
A national holiday.
Yes.
An international holiday.
A bit late, but
it was Spotify Rap Day. And I was just excited because I already knew it, but our podcast was in my top 3. So I wanted to ask you guys, where did Hot Girls Hockey land in your list on your Spotify Rap?
it was my top listened podcast because I'll replay the episode looking for like little sections of it and just like to quality check it and everything. So I end up playing the episode like usually twice. So whoops. Number 1 fan is me.
Woo. Allie.
If I tell you it didn't even make the top 10. Top 10. Listen, it's now a bad time to admit I don't actually listen to the episodes on Spotify. I listen to them in our
our preview.
Yeah.
Our quality
I listen to them in our database, but I
Sarah,
I listen to
You're a fake fan.
I'll listen to all of them on Spotify tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll play them. But I have a really good audiobook that I've been listening to.
Just mute it. Just let it play in the background.
Okay.
Oh That's so funny.
If you, dear listener, had Hot Girls Hockey in your top end of the year Spotify Wrapped, let us know. Leave a comment. Tell us where it is, and we'll give you a little kiss, just a little from me to you.
a little virtual one.
Listen to the episode twice. Once for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to make up those numbers I'm lacking in.
Yeah.
Well, this is Hot Girls Hockey. Born in Jersey. Our weekly opinions on the Devils, because there's no facts here, because we analyze by vibes. All right, Allie, what was our red carpet report of this week?
I'm
excited.
I'm
didn't spoil.
a little scared of what might happen this week.
Scared.
Oh,
I'm a little scared, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into
fear.
it. I have many fears.
Okay, and just remember, we're now posting these on TikTok and all the socials. So if you want to follow
judge me. Oh yeah, that's right. If you are listening to this and you would like to see the images as we go through the red carpet report, head on over to Hot Girls Hockey _ on Twitter or Hot Girls Hockey Pod on TikTok. Actually, it might be. Hold on. It might
it's
be
on TikTok.
HG.
I don't know what
Hockey.
it's called.
It's
what
HG Hockey _ pod.
Should we make these more consistent so it's easier to remember? Maybe.
No.
That's what the link tree is for.
That is what the link in bio is
exactly
for.
That's fair.
And you can see the red carpet report. You can see all the boys in their cute little outfits and judge them along with us.
Okay. I'm really excited. I'm also getting really good with the faces because I know who this first person is.
I know.
It's Paul Cotter.
It's Paul Cotter.
Yeah.
What is our boy Paul wearing here?
I'm confused. I think he's like a super fashionable history teacher, but not in a bad way.
No, that doesn't sound like a bad thing to me.
No, it's just like the circle cut in the vest is really throwing me off.
Yeah, we've got a 3-piece plaid gray suit with like a scoop neck waistcoat.
Yeah.
Did you guys know the proper pronunciation of waistcoat is actually waistcoat?
Yes.
I've heard that, but I'm choosing to ignore it.
Because you told us one time
in
the red carpet report. And it was the very first time I heard it.
Well, just checking your retention.
Yep.
Anyway, Yeah, this is a good looking suit. I like how he artfully left the bottom button on the vest undone so that we can see the Ferragamo belt. He likes that belt. It's a nice belt. He looks very serious. So, okay, this tie.
It's the same tie.
It's the same tie.
Is it the Napalm Records tie?
Yeah.
Arcane letter tie.
Polly Boy, DJ Polly C.
DJ Paul.
What is this tie? I need you to tell me because the longer I look at it and the more outfits I see it in, the more I dislike it because I think it's hexing me.
Oh.
I don't like it.
There's some interlocking B's.
Now maybe? I see B's and R's and I's.
Yeah.
Should I DM this picture to him and be like, hey, what tie is this?
You honestly?
Give it a try, honestly.
You don't know. We don't know.
Who knows?
Let us know.
Someone who, if you know Paul Cotter, can you please just ask him and then just message me?
That way we don't have to be as weird about it.
Yeah. I don't care. I'll DM him, but he won't answer. He'll be like, oh God, it's that fucking podcast girl.
Oh my gosh. Well, I like what he's wearing. I like the pattern, the combo. I always love anything that's 3 pieces. As soon as you add a waistcoat, I'm about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is a great outfit. Obviously, he's in the running for best of the week. Who's he competing with? Oh, well, who's below this? Who is this? Oh my God.
Yeah, I scrolled down.
Nico Hughes.
Yep. It sure is. But
You'll
this
notice.
Is in the running?
This is a different Nico Hughes.
Well, yeah, it is. He did shave.
Mustache
Congrats,
Nico
Shannon.
is gone. And I think we need to take a moment of silence.
I think we should. Yeah.
To just remember what we have lost. Shannon, that wasn't silence.
No, because I'm going to cut the silence out because we can't be silent because then it sounds like the podcast paused and it just...
Yeah.
Besides, not
you can
only
play
that...
sad music then, Shannon.
Okay, I'll get like the...
I like
the
that
world's
Sarah McLachlan song. Exactly. Yeah.
I was just going to play like sad violin. Okay.
Now you don't need to add any music at all.
You're welcome. I'm making your job easier.
Thank you.
I think the biggest tragedy of the year is that Nico shaved his mustache. I know he was only doing it for November, blah, 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 blah. The mustache is gone. He looks incredible.
He did have it during the summer.
All
Remember there were those so it could come back.
Well,
I don't know why I'm trying
it's
to
hair, so I'm sure it will grow back at some point.
It will. Yep.
I meant he'll make the choice to keep it.
Right.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm mourning what we have lost. He looks great though.
Yeah.
He looks good. I'm including him here. Whatever. He's wearing like a wool pea coat. I'm including him here just because he looks good.
Okay, fair enough. Because it's like not an outfit. This is nothing. But
I like it.
But I'll allow it. It's fine.
I'm more memorized by Luke Hughes in the background.
Memorized by Luke Hughes. That sounds like a Wattpad fic. All right. Next up, we have Mr. Jesper Bratt doing his best
he
watch ad impersonation.
He either paid the photographer or he took modeling classes. Like, I don't know what it is, but it perfect. Like, this is an ad.
Yeah. He's preparing for his post NHL career.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yeah.
This suit is kind of nondescript. It's just like it's a black suit, but it's really well fitted. He's like holding the lapel of the right side as he's walking to give it that little,
just gives it some motion.
Yeah. You know? The little bit of he has hair coiffed. He's even holding the water bottle so that you can see the label properly. You can see the watch off his left. This boy,
he knows what he's doing.
This man's been practicing. This is a 10 out of 10 pose. The suit itself it's fine. But the pose.
I like it.
The pose.
It's nice, but it's kind of.
Yeah. The pose elevates the suit.
Yeah.
He's
photo composition.
Also wearing proper, I think these are wool socks. These shoes. I've been learning about shoes.
Okay.
I watched a whole TikTok video on it. So I'm basically an expert now.
So you know everything now.
Exactly. Some British man explained this to me.
Right. Oh, okay. I trust him.
Yeah, that's how you know it's real. These men's shoes, the Italian leather loafers, they come in different type. Oh, these aren't loafers. I've already misspoken. Oh my God.
Dress shoe.
Yes, dress shoe. Thank you. There's different types. There's Oxfords and there's Derbies. And I think these are technically Oxfords. It has to do with how they lace up.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These are not the fanciest, but they're fancier than a Derby shoe. So
I like them though.
I do like them. Yeah. They're quite nice. So you might be wondering, which of these outfits is the best?
Oh, it's down to these. Okay.
I know who it's not.
There's lots of other photos, but we're not going to talk. Actually, no, we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. There's another picture of Nico that we can look at.
Okay. All the way to the bottom and ignoring everything else.
And just ignoring everything else.
Oh.
We're ignoring what's on the right for now. We'll get to that.
I have so many words for that one. Wow.
For which one? Nico or the guy on the right? We're ignoring the guy
on the right.
Yeah, we're ignoring that for now. We're ignoring that for now. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. We're just looking at Nico.
This Nico outfit is better than the first one you showed.
I think it's the same outfit. He just has it open so you can see it.
Well, it works better that way then.
It's much nicer.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Yeah, I like this.
You can see the pants in this one, so it helps because the pants are kind of interesting at least.
Yeah, they're like a greenish tone. Yeah. They don't quite match the gray of the jacket.
They don't, but it's fine.
I want to know what this can that he's holding is. I've never seen that before. Why is he holding it like that?
Why is he holding it like that?
Why was he holding his bag by like 2 fingers with the water?
Good question.
Do you remember that photo?
I do.
My gosh.
I will say points against Nico for his commitment to Kith. This is like a personal, the brand Kith. That's where all of his beanies come from, but he wears like a lot of Kith
Luke had
clothing.
one on too in that photo earlier.
I have a personal vendetta against Kith. That brand is charging too much money for the amount of polyester that they use. This is like a personal, personal problem of mine. Certain brands pisses me off. But anyway, our best of the week is going to be Jesper Brett.
All right. I think that's fair.
That's who I wanted.
Whoops. Red carpet report winner, Jesper Brett.
Type it in the document.
Sharp dresser. Second place, because I want it. Don't get mad at me. And if you do, I will kick you out. It's Nico for the combination of his 2 outfits. Just because he's pretty. Shut up. I don't care.
I would kick you off the Zoom.
Paul Cotter doesn't deserve third for that.
That tie is bad. I hate it. I hate it.
The tie is weird for it.
The tie clashes with the plaid.
I don't care. It ruins the suit for me. I can't look at anything but the tie.
But Nico's green pants clash with the rest of whatever he's got going on.
I don't care.
Too.
His face is pretty and it gives him an infinite million amount of points.
Alrighty.
Weirdly like grayish.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna use a veto. It is what it is.
Shall we talk about the bottom of the list? Because we've actually got some good contenders this week.
I am excited.
I'm very excited. I haven't looked.
Me neither.
Okay. So I'm scrolling down past Jesper Bratt, the next set of pictures you will see is Andre Palat and Brett Pesci. These outfits are kind of tragic. But the real reason I put them in this list is because they both look so sad.
They do.
They do.
My God, Pesci looks miserable.
Someone call Brian and have him do a wellness check. Like this man needs a Prozac. I have never seen someone look so despondent in my life.
I feel like normally every other image I see of him, he's super smiley too. Yeah, this is so opposite of that.
Can you imagine if you were walking in and this is the photo they posted of you on their official account?
No.
That's a face that doesn't care.
Yeah, that's true.
At least he has his Starbucks.
Yeah, I was just going to say points for the Starbucks.
Yeah, and he's got the little Christmas cup. That's cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yikes. I'm not even going to put this on like the worst dressed list.
No, because the outfit's fine, but
I can't kick him when he's down like this. Look at him.
No, you can't.
For me, it's just the collar being unbuttoned. It looks like maybe he already had a tie on and then took it off. Like he's just like mid outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks a little rushed.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's fine. It's not the worst. Palat's is worse.
Yeah, Palat's got something off the Marshall's clearance rack there.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't fit at all either.
No.
It's way too big.
They've got him in this worst possible motion shot.
Yeah, just an unfortunate picture.
So next one might be a little controversial.
Oh, whoa. Interesting.
This is a picture of Jacob Markstrom.
Now,
noteworthy winner multiple times of the best dress the past couple of weeks.
I know why I don't like it.
So
even though I like it.
What do you think about this suit? What are we looking at?
I am looking at a plaid suit.
Green plaid.
Yes. Like that
like tartan plaid.
Lumberjack.
It is.
Yes.
Like
it looks very Scottish.
Yeah.
And it confuses me because it almost looks like an outerwear jacket.
Right. It almost looks like it
does.
It like
fleece or wool or something.
Confused whether it's trying to be a suit jacket or like a wool
like
coat
a
or something.
like sport coat or whatever.
Yeah.
Smoking jacket almost.
I think the reason why you put this here, or the reason why I would have put this here, it's just what's happening with the pants.
Yeah.
Pants don't make sense.
They're blue. And I almost think there's a little bit of navy maybe
there is.
in the stripe.
There is for sure.
But it's not this
not
blue.
the same.
No.
Yeah.
And then the black tie. I mean, points for Dior as a fellow Dior girly, but that's the ugliest possible Dior logo I've ever seen.
Logo
just smashed
right in the middle of it. Yeah. And normally I'm not one that's like, I'm not a hater of logos on things, but that one is
I will say though, it looks fitted. I do like his jacket length, the cuff length, all of that's correct. And he looks put together. It's just like it's not meshing.
Yeah, different tie, different pants, and this could be a great outfit.
Yeah.
Yes.
The jacket is really a statement piece, and it
needs the other things not to be everything is a statement piece.
Yeah,
the tie.
It's all too much together.
Yeah. We need a couple more complementary pieces.
Yeah.
Not his best outfit, but it is not.
Can't win them all.
It is not last place this week because
it's certainly not.
Love
Tomash Tatar.
I love it.
Came down from the heavens and said, "Don't worry, Allie. I'm going to make this list real easy for you this week. Here's your last place outfit." I think he put this outfit together, especially every single element was chosen to piss me off.
Genuinely, this is one of the weirdest things that we put on.
I've never seen something like this.
It is really unique.
I love it. He was listening. He opened his jacket, put the hands in the pockets, and did the little flare.
And he said,
so we could see the lining.
Here's this Burberry tag. This fuck ass Burberry coat with the largest tag you've ever seen in your life. The biggest
tag on the inside, and those giant. What are those things called? The way that it hooks together.
Oh, I love those.
The toggles.
Enormous. Yes. They're huge.
They look like fishing lures.
They do.
I love
this. Is not fisherman chic in a good way.
It's like
this is bad.
This navy blue like pea coat, this Burberry coat is like,
I thought it was purple.
Purple. It looks purple.
It is almost purple. Yeah.
Oh, is it supposed to be navy blue?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I can't tell. It looks like it could be either. But then he's got these bright clown red pants.
I don't hate the pants. Okay. I don't hate the pants. In concept, I could like the red pants with the black shirt and a red tie because I'm still very emo and Spotify told me that today. But the pants and the tie are completely different colors.
Yes. Why is the tie like a wine cool toned red and the pants are a warm orange red?
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Funny is the red on the pants does match the red in the lining of the jacket. And what makes me laugh is like usually those jackets, they have a thing for the tag to tuck in.
He said tag
at least
out.
Cut it off. What are you doing?
Oh, it's so unfortunate.
That is pulled down as far as it can go.
I know.
And also I think has the tag sticking out the front.
It kind of looks like it. Yeah.
And no belt. Yeah. These pants have an interesting closure that's like buttons off to the side. Also, can we talk about how tight these pants are?
They're a smidge.
Didn't want to, but it's distracting.
It's a smidge. Yeah.
You'd see the outline of his phone and his wallet like this, sir.
Yeah.
Size up.
Just a smidge.
It's It's so, they cut off the shoes with the Arrivals Infinity logo.
Yeah.
But, it looks like there's some fun things happening there.
They honestly look swayed from here. I don't know
do
if they are.
swayed.
I kinda love
You're
it.
right.
This is a mess.
I love this mess though. It's just like
It's kind of
color, pop, 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 color. Sorry.
It's kind of so funny. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I hope he keeps doing this.
Me too. Because he's injured, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. We're not going to give this room for most improvement because I don't personally want him to improve on this.
No, me neither.
But it is definitely last place.
It sure is. Yep.
Thank you, Allie.
Anytime. I live to serve.
All right, Sarah. What is our weekly update?
So for our fun segment name this week, we are tied technically in points for second in the Metro
Wow.
with the Washington Capitals.
Boo.
We have 36 points with 17 wins, 9 losses, and 2 overtime losses.
This segment didn't used to be this fun, but now it's fun.
It is. It's fun this time because we're actually doing better. It wasn't so fun last year.
No.
It was the not so fun segment name. In terms of overall in the league, we are 4th. We are tied in points for second.
Woo.
Again. But we're, basically 4th. It's fine. Ahead of us are the Minnesota Wild, Washington Capitals, and the Winnipeg Jets.
These are really
that
holding
Washington
strong.
Is up at the top like that, though.
Yeah.
Especially with Ovechkin being out. Didn't really expect that.
Don't like it.
I have to tell you, I now have been focusing on the losses stats because we're still so ahead in how many games we played.
We are a smidge. Some teams have caught up. There may be like one game behind.
Yeah.
But
It's starting to even out this week because they had this little gap in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've been telling myself, because I look forward to this when we haven't even dropped to third yet, dare I say. But I'm just following the losses because the more other people accrue, I'm like, the harder it will be for them to catch us,
Yeah.
even if they haven't played as many games.
Mm-hmm.
And
But I
it
just
is,
had to tell you.
regardless of how many more games the Devils have played on average, they are more than a third of the way in the season.
Mhm.
So this is officially setting the trend for what you would expect the rest of their season. It's a long season. There's still a lot of time left.
Still a lot. Yep.
But they got a third of it under their belt and they've been doing pretty good.
Right. So we can't discredit that, despite the fact that they are still a couple of games ahead.
Yes.
They're winning the cup. Plan the parade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take your PTO now.
Some other things that happened in Devils territory this week. Timo Meier had a hearing over his game misconduct call, and he was suspended for one game, the November 27th game versus St. Louis. And we can talk about how that game went later.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Tio got in trouble.
Tio did get in trouble. And then most recently today, the Four Nations face-off teams were announced. And 4 Devils were announced to some of these teams. Bratt and Markstrom are going to be playing for Sweden. Hall is playing for Finland, and Jack Hughes is playing for US.
Wow.
So we will see how that goes, and hopefully none of them will get injured.
I know.
Yikes. I didn't even think about that.
Fingers
Yep.
crossed.
When is
Yep.
it?
It's in like late February, I want to say.
Okay.
Jack will get a shoulder injury somehow.
We're not
Classic.
thinking about it. We're not worrying about it yet until it happens.
Yep.
And then elsewhere around the NHL this week, there hasn't been any official news on this yet. However, there have been many a discussion on what's going on with the Rangers. They are having quite a slump. And
Yes.
the rumors have been they are very much looking to trade Trouba and or Kreider
Wow.
because they are panicking.
Do you guys remember the witch from last season?
Yes,
I
I
sure do. Yeah.
I think she's cursed the Rangers instead this year.
I think she sure has.
She's moved her balcony into Manhattan.
Mhm.
It's too far back for me to explain.
Yeah.
Don't
Nope,
go
we're not
back.
gonna-
Don't go back.
Don't
we
go back.
listen
We
to
never
it.
go back
Just
here.
accept it.
It's
We only go forward.
They kind of are. They're having a bit of the preseason curse.
Yeah.
This is kind of what happened to the Devils last year, isn't it?
I think this is the revenge for the Rangers putting up those cringy regular season champion banners.
It might be. The witch saw that and she was like, actually, that's the cringiest thing I've ever seen.
You are cursed for the rest of the season. Shesterkin will never stop a goal again.
And he sure didn't.
We'll talk about it. Okay.
Let's get into it.
Well, since we're already talking about it, the Devils have been pretty hot this season. We know this. We're hot. That means you're hot. And if you want to show off your outfit ensemble at an upcoming Devils game, or frankly, any event that's an excuse to go out on the town, then you should use our discount code HotGirlsHockey for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. And maybe, just maybe, we'll catch you on the red carpet. So let's get into our first game this week. Allie and I saw this in person.
Ooh.
And of the games that we're going to talk about,
we had a great time.
Week, this is one of the two.
This was the one. Yeah.
Happy we were there in person.
Yeah.
I only have 2 comments on this game.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm going to spring them on you when you least expect it.
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Because we were there in person, I wrote about this, could not believe the synergy that was in the arena. Usually home games, we just don't do so hot. But this time you could just see the Devils were feeding off the crowd's energy. And I swear they were turning that energy into goals. So I'm just saying, everybody, always cheer. No boos. Cheers. And I honestly don't know what I liked more about this game. Because I'm also going to talk about my highlights, Allie. I'm not sure if it was the 5-minute penalty kill that we fended off.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Or, of course, I don't even want to take it from you. I want you to talk about it, Allie.
So the game was incredible vibes. It started off very awkwardly with the Predators scoring on their very first shot.
Yeah.
And
I forgot it even happened.
We're not even going to talk about it. Yeah. Because the rest of it overshadowed that.
And pretty quickly afterwards, the Devils made they locked in. Dawson Mercer set up the most beautiful hollow goal I've ever seen. It was some sexy passing. It was well planned. It was an organized. It was like you were saying. It was a moment of synergy. I think this was like when I turned to you and said the chemistry is clicking.
Yes,
and it really culminated in my favorite moment of the season so far. Nico Hischier got a natural hatty.
Mm-hmm. His first ever hatty.
And it started after he was pissed. I don't even remember what happened.
Oh my gosh.
There was some sort of like silly nonsense it was right in front of us. It was like by the goal.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it is. He and one of the
knocked him
Predators
over,
players.
basically. It was something that was just like definitely should have been an unsportsmanlike conduct call on the Predator player, but the refs didn't see or
just
say
like a little
anything.
bit of silly nonsense after the whistle.
Yeah.
He shoved Nico or knocked her, and Nico was like on the ground. He got pissed off and he like threw his glove at him.
The first time he's ever thrown a glove.
Yeah,
and I got scared.
And it wasn't even like a drop a fight type of throw. It was like a
literally like
well,
fuck
petty.
You like
throwing it at him.
Throwing it.
Yeah.
People can't
Kinda
see me.
start a
I'm
duel.
throwing it.
Yeah. He picked it up so quick too. I thought it was still on the ice. Like he Nico was like up, had his glove, and was back on the other end, like before you in the blink of an eye. But he looked pissed after that, and then just scored 3 times in a row. And his hat trick. It was his first ever in his NHL career. It was his 13th goal of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it also?
That's magic.
Like, this was there was magic here. There was some sort of special magic going on.
Mm-hmm.
There was, and you could feel it. Like it was just, I felt so bad. We had one of my father's friends came to us with the game, and he was a Predators fan, and he had a good time with us because we had a good time. But it just got to this point where
the Devils were embarrassing them. I turned
for
to
the Predators. I know.
At one point, I was like, I think the Predators should score. Just give them one. And they did. They got one. I was like, oh, thank God. They need a little. This ended like what, 5-2?
Yes. And oh, man. But I was never worried. It was never.
No, this
never
was dominant.
worried.
Except after that first Predators goal, the Devils really took control. And I mean, this was the story of Nico Hischier. He was he was producing offensively, defensively. He's just leading the team. He's so good at this.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's the captain.
This game was just captain shit through and through.
Oh yeah.
There was some not so captain shit. What was your boy doing, Shannon?
Well, I think we had the ultimate Tio timeout.
Yeah. It's the most Tio we've ever seen him be.
Yeah.
So we watched it happen live and he got ejected from the game for, it was like a 5-minute penalty and game misconduct.
And this was one of those things too, where despite the fact that the Devils were really dominating this game, and I think actually probably because of that, it was getting a little feisty towards the end. And the Predators were kind of trying to push them around and they weren't rising to the challenge until the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Timo finally got sick of this shit. And who did he cross-check?
LaRue? I have it written in my note. That's not how you say it.
French. LaRue? I guess.
It's LaRue.
I would probably go LaRue.
Yeah.
It was LaRue.
And when he first did it, I remember because the vibes were high, we were cheering. I felt vindicated. I was like, yeah, hit him, Timo. But then he did it the second time.
Yes.
You know, the one hit's one thing, but you're pretty close to the boards. And because of the way LaRue kind of deflected it the second time, Timo's like cross check went right up into his face, like into his head, right? Very close to, I was like, oh, okay, maybe that was a little, maybe we don't do that.
Yeah. Which is why I think this resulted in a 1-game suspension, despite him not having any previous misconduct or hearings.
Yeah,
so
he had that sort of aw shucks look as he was coming out of the. Yeah. And we are close enough to so we are on the opposite side of the ice from where the team sits. Still pretty like close. And even from the opposite side, you could hear Keefe was pissed.
Yes, because I didn't realize how bad it was in the moment until I rewatched a replay later on to talk about it. And I was like, okay, I understand why they did this because they have to. Some people were saying the suspension was unfair, but ultimately it's like you are responsible for the control of your stick at all times, even if it went somewhere you didn't intend.
Yeah, even if he wasn't aiming for his head, you're
still supposed to.
If you cross check someone, there's a risk it's gonna hit them in the head, and you didn't need to do it twice.
Like the chest, the one time, the first time, an emotional reaction. We get it. It probably would have been a 5-minute penalty without a suspension. But like you were saying, Allie, it was the second one.
The second one, yeah.
And I was like, Tio took over and he wasn't going back.
No.
Tio was like, I'm here.
It was a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde moment for him. I do think too, like if I was Keefe, I'd probably be a little pissed about that because that is a moment now you're putting your team on that incredible 5-minute penalty kill that they crushed.
Yes.
But that is that's
like, don't do that. That's not good.
And then you handicap your team for the next game, which we could talk about how that went because he ends up being just suspended. So maybe a little bit of a boo-boo, but
it was a much needed timeout
for Tio.
Yes.
Timo in timeout.
Don't do it again.
Timo time out.
Yes.
But vibes were high. Awesome game. It's like it was just super fun and they did incredible. We were all feeling super excited.
And not only was, Nico's hat trick like an incredible moment, the game ended in an incredible way too, where, they killed off that 5-minute penalty. They only allowed Nashville one shot that entire time. And then Justin Dowling came out on the ice and scored immediately. And it must have been really nice to be like there when that happened and the crowd just erupted because watching it on TV was awesome.
Yeah. I remember I was so happy I already had finished my ice cream at that point because whatever was in my lap was going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
And luckily I had nothing in my lap. And I did want to say before we move on to the next game, something else that was really, really funny. And I don't know if it translated in the broadcast, but like Nico gave his first star interview.
Oh, yes.
And the crowd just started chanting his name as he started talking. And like whatever he was saying, he was smiling so big, but you couldn't hear a word of it because we were just screaming his name.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Oh, so happy.
It was a really cute interview. You could tell he was
cheesing.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember when I predicted that Nashville was going to win in the offseason?
Oh my God.
What happened there?
Oof. I think you jinxed them.
I think I might have.
Jinxes.
Well,
do we have to talk about it? Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
I don't have much to say.
We can talk about it.
I had one thought about it.
I think that someone hexed this game against the Blues. And I think that person should be brought to court.
It wasn't me. I'm just saying it right now.
Is it the one who like sentenced Timo to the 1 game suspension or something? Is that who we're talking about?
I think it was me for tweeting that they were going to get shut out, and then they did.
Oh, you did do that, didn't you?
I'm not even online.
Straight to jail with you.
So the Devils played the St. Louis Blues on the 27th. It was a home game. Was this the day after Thanksgiving? I can't remember. When was Thanksgiving?
I think
before. This is the day before.
This is the day before Thanksgiving.
Wednesday.
So they don't even have the excuse of stuffing and turkey.
Nope.
Losers. All right. Well, it's 11.
They were just already in that holiday mode, I guess.
Yeah. Half this team is European. What do they care about Thanksgiving?
What do they care? Yeah.
Lock in. So we start off with just interesting vibes. Cotter was paired up with Nico and Nason because Timo's in the timeout box.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit down on my couch. I settle in. I tweet the words, Devils are getting shut out, or something like that. And as soon as I hit send, 9 seconds in, the Blues score.
Yeah, I was I was like laying apples and making an apple pie. And I was like, it was not necessary for me to set up my baking station in front of the TV.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I was like, I could have stayed in the kitchen.
It happened off the very first face-off. Nico got tripped up and the play just kind of fell apart and the Blues just scored. And honestly, I was like, okay, that was a little bit of a whoopsie daisy, a little bit of a fumble. It happens.
Yes.
And then things just fell apart from there.
Yes.
There was like this questionable too many men on the ice or on the Devils' behalf.
That's right. Yeah.
It was clearly, I forget, even Dano and Bill were like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
It was a bad call.
It was not pretty.
So, that was a little questionable. The PK stands tall. They fight it off, but it didn't matter because it happens again a few minutes later. They finish the PK. They kill it off, but it doesn't matter because they get they take like another silly penalty a little bit later, and they also like are not getting any penalties. Like Pesci is getting knocked down. Timo is getting tripped up, but they're not getting any calls. Siegs cross checks Chen, and so they have to go back on to the penalty kill, and then and then the Blues score.
Yeah,
and that was like a hard one to watch too because there was like Markstrom's on one side of the net, Siegs is on the other, and somehow the net still ends up like wide open.
Yeah.
Oh, and this, what also might have jinxed this game? This was not Markstrom's 500th game.
No, but it was, they did the ceremony, and the ceremony was so sweet.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
So cute. And
that kid's jacket, I was dying.
Yeah. And they gave Markstrom's
so tiny
son
and cute.
the mini like silver goalie stick.
I would have liked to have seen that in person. Not the game, just the ceremony.
No.
Yeah, I watched the ceremony and leave because everything came out. Maybe that jinxed it.
I honestly felt like it did.
I think it's so like hee ha ha for the Devils to do this whole look at our awesome goalie 500th game commemoration and then get shut out. I actually think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
Only
really
us.
funny. But this is, also the Blues score for the third time in the first. All of the scoring happens in the first period.
That's what was crazy.
And this third goal, they score on a rebound, even though there was more traffic in front of the net than on the Parkway. Like this, like the holiday traffic was like every freaking person who could have been standing in the way of this puck was standing in the way of this puck. This puck should have been blocked just by through sheer
traffic.
them being there. Yeah.
Numbers. No one even had to do anything. And somehow it finds its way through.
Yes.
And that was, I think, the moment where I was like, oh, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
I called it. This is some sort of St. Louis is under the Bruins coach now. I can't, whatever his freaking name is.
They're just riding that high.
Montgomery. That's right. Montgomery showed up and gave them some sort of little magic go-go juice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's their week.
It was. And it was unfortunate that it had to be us. Because my observation for this game was Dano and Bill have been talking about this a lot. And I agree with them that we have been showing a lot of maturity as a team, following through to the end, not letting things get to us, coming back. But there's one thing that this game demonstrated, a weakness we still need to work on seriously before the playoffs, that something about the Devils, we just cannot let go of bad reffing.
That's actually
Yeah.
the no.
There's just
I'm glad you said
weird.
that because I was wondering if it's that as well.
There was definitely once the Devils feel like the refs are against them, they can't muster the maturity or the energy. There's just something I feel like they just have to be sour the rest of the game.
They get
about
frustrated.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was weird because it was very clear the refs knew they fucked up in the beginning. And then there was some super soft calls on the Blues to try to balance things out. It's not the same.
The Devils had already unraveled.
It was over. It was too late. We didn't have the maturity to say, okay, we have this opportunity. We have to use it. We can come back. It all happened in the first period. We had the second and the third.
Yes.
But I just think there's something.
Yeah, that first goal was really disheartening, but that first goal happened 9 seconds in. You have 59 minutes and 51 seconds to recover from that.
Yeah.
And instead you let it tear you apart.
Yes.
And crumble.
And I think the difference, in the Predators game, it wasn't the results because of a tripping and penalty that wasn't called.
Right.
And they came back and we won. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, that really is the question is why sometimes are they able to be a comeback team and other times they fall apart. Yeah. And I came to the same conclusion as you, that it seems to be when they end up in these weird reffing situations that seem to happen to them at home more than anywhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure everyone says this about their team.
Yes.
But I really want to see some kind of stat or talk to a linesman or a ref and be like, hey, is there a thing at the Prudential Center?
Yeah.
Is it just bad vibes for them too? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I have always been a big champion. I get frustrated when fans are like, it's the reffing, because I just think you can't control the reffing. Some calls are going to be better than others. Every team, sometimes the refs probably are a little biased, but you can't control that. You just have to play with the officiating that you have.
Yes.
And you have to find a way to overcome it and not let it get to you. But it does seem to be really frustrating at home ice that they get these silly calls or have egregious penalties that are missed. And
it's so weird.
Even when the refs make it up to them later on in the game by trying to even things out by giving them penalties, it's almost even more frustrating at that point.
Yes.
And I think I wonder, I would love to know if this is just the mental, a mental element of it that they just can't get over it.
I agree. Cause I noted here, it's I think we didn't have a lot of control this game. We were doing a lot of chasing and reacting rather than dominating like we had in the past. And there's just something I'm we have the skill. We've proven we're good. We've proven that we are capable. We can go up against the bigger, tougher teams. But to me, this was a breakdown in
the
maturity.
True enemy is within.
Yep.
Yes.
They got to go up against themselves. I mean, come on. The refs, all right, that first period sucked. They started you on a power play going into the second period. You had the full intermission to rest, regroup, and start on the man advantage, and we did nothing with it.
Yes.
You got to look within.
Because we've proven, Sarah says
they can do it.
Our special team rocks.
They rock.
They do.
Our special team. Our special team.
Our special team.
Our special team.
Just the whole
People
bunch of them.
The Devils.
See the hand movement
around.
This is why we need to just
world.
record the Zoom every time.
So yeah, this game sucked.
Yeah, unfortunate one.
Let's forget about it.
All right.
Yep.
Let's move on. I like the next game because we won.
Yes.
Sarah, This was in your territory.
But I had an unfortunate experience with this game.
What happened?
Well, I made an impulse decision to buy a ticket.
Yeah, it was Black
the
Friday.
Night before. Yeah, it was Black Friday. The price of the tickets had gone down. I'd been tracking it for a little bit. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll get myself a ticket to go. Didn't think to check the weather whatsoever because
you're living in Michigan now.
Wasn't on my mind, but I do live in Michigan now. And so I woke up to a fair amount of snow, active snowing. And the roads were not great here. So I ultimately decided it's not worth it to crash my car on the way to Detroit.
Nope.
No. So I had to watch the game at home despite having a ticket and wanting to be there very badly. But
and the boys, they put on a show for you.
But at least they did. At least they gave me a win to make up for the fact that I wasn't there.
Yes. I missed this game, but in a completely different way. Embarrassingly so. I did not check the time. Thought this game was on at 7. Turned the TV on. Super excited to watch the game. Looking forward to it all day. And I was looking at the app and I was like, we already won. I was like, damn it.
You didn't even get to turn the game on and they already won.
No. I was happy. At least we won.
Was that fast? Yeah.
Yeah, they did it quick. It actually wasn't fast. This game was a marathon.
It sure was.
And they fought their way back.
All 26.2 miles of it.
What?
That's how long a marathon is.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. The producer and I talk about running one, but I pretend like I'm going to do it one day.
If you ever see me sign up for a marathon, that is a cry for help.
Okay.
I cannot do that. Yeah, the story of this game is really this was their comeback game. This, they played the Blues and they proved to us, they can still be silly and get shot out, get shooted out. Shut out. There you go.
There you go.
Struggling. And this was the game where they had to show us that they could have a comeback.
Right. And they did.
So is this the game? What happened to Tatar?
He got hurt.
I didn't even see it happen.
Yeah, I didn't either. It wasn't like a particularly highlighted moment. It was an aggressive game.
Okay.
It was. The Red Wings and the Devils last time they met, the Red Wings won. And it was that infamous, like supposedly embarrassing shot of who was it? Standing over Jack. I don't even remember.
I already forget his name.
Was it
again.
Rasmussen?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
It was.
And people were, whatever, that image went viral. So it's not surprising that they came out the gate. Like
both teams were pretty angry.
Yeah.
Detroit, they came out angry at first. They scored twice and they were unanswered for a little bit. But Timo finally, it was Dougie.
It was Dougie
who scored in the last few minutes. The coach tried to challenge it, but
no.
Not against Dougie.
And Timo said, you know what? Mea culpa. I'm back. Here's some Timo time. Timo
time, not T.O.
Not T.O. No more T.O.
T.O. can remain in timeout for the rest of the season. He doesn't have to come back.
I think what made this game, how they were able to come back, is that they capitalized on their special teams. And partly that was because Detroit has like perhaps the worst penalty kill in the league right now.
Mm-hmm. As of this game, they were dead last.
Rip.
Whoa.
Sucks to suck.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a bold strategy for a team that's last on the PK to come out swinging. Seems like maybe you'd want to do whatever you can to stay.
Maybe try to. Yeah, don't let that happen to you.
Well, they sure did, and they let the Devils take 3 power play goals, and that was how the Devils got back into this and won this game.
Thank God, because at least if I couldn't be there, at least that happened.
Yeah. It was a fun game. To answer your question, Shannon, I did not see Tuna's injury.
Okay.
No,
it happened.
They didn't really like focus on it, and they just kind of
he just limped off at some point, and
they probably didn't even know it happened.
Yeah, it was like just
they didn't really announce it. They just kind of tweeted later he won't return.
Yeah, and he has not returned yet. So I don't know.
No.
Yeah, some sort of. It looked like something in his thigh.
Okay.
Was bothering him when he was limping off. So
yeah,
hopefully he'll get better soon.
Yeah, we need him back on the red carpet. ASAP.
Yes. Back on the red carpet in some fuck ass outfits.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We all know the game we want to get to. So
Okay.
let's
breeze
just
through the
It's
next
not
one.
this next one.
It's
yeah.
sure not. You know what?
Definitely not this one.
I actually was excited to get to this game. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because this is the last time they will play the Capitals.
Yes.
Thank God.
I am glad to be done with this shit. What is it
Hopefully
about
for
this
a very
team?
long time? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
Them
what it
and
is
the
about them.
Canes.
Last time they met, Ovechkin was out and the Devils did great. They were able to keep with it. They won. And I was like, okay, maybe that's what it was. Maybe not having Ovechkin there, they were, they were able to
Like shook the Capitals.
Yeah.
They were, not on top of their game. I don't know, whatever it was.
Right.
But whatever it was not here this time.
This game divided fans. People were getting feisty about this.
Whoa. Okay.
Really?
Well,
yes. People had, the Brandon Smith is gone and the people have decided to elect a new villain.
No.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh.
It did. Thankfully, I don't think it has lasted very long, but this one I actually pissed me off. So Dawson
I haven't been
Mercer
very online.
was somehow getting the blame for this game.
Really?
You cannot.
Interesting. I haven't been very online lately, huh?
So
I just real quick anecdote. I missed this game because I was a wedding.
every single
I know.
episode, this is Shannon justifying why she. Are you even a fan,
Yeah.
Shannon? Do
I
you
was
watch
doing.
the Devils?
Oh my gosh. I was
You
doing
remember
so
when the
well.
first episode, we were all like, well, I didn't watch it. I'd missed this one. I didn't watch it. In the first episode of this show.
To be fair, I was at a wedding and I was holding 2 glasses of whiskey. And honestly, so much shit was going down. I wish I had a third hand to hold a third glass.
And then
I
a fourth
remember
hand to hold the phone to watch the game
it was
on.
really hard. I had it literally under the table refreshing the app. And I was like so excited because I'm like, we're tied again. And I was like, we're down. And I was like, producer, we're tied again.
This was a roller coaster of a game. And at one point, Bill and Dano had the audacity to say that this would be a fun playoff series. And I took that personally because I would need blood pressure medication by the end of that series. This
I disagree. Yeah.
game started to get really wacky in the second during a 4-minute Capitals power play, which was 4-on-3.
Yeah.
And in this power play, Kovacevic's stick broke right in front of the net. And the Caps score. What else is
How are they not
happen?
gonna? Yeah.
This is what can you do about that?
Yeah.
Everyone was giving Dawson Mercer shit for this penalty, and that really frustrated me. I don't even remember what he did. It was like a tripping, hooking, yada yada. No, high sticking. I think it was like a high sticking penalty for him. Okay. I don't really care because the reason why it was 4-on-3 is because Paul Cotter also came in with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Mm.
And that just frustrates me that everyone was focusing on Dawson Mercer and not Cotter.
Yeah, he very much did that.
I would argue that an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is a less disciplined penalty. Like high sticking, you have to control your stick, but sometimes that just happens.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Right. And it even like tripping and hooking, like it's just penalties happen. They're moving so flipping fast. But if there's a penalty you can avoid,
you can control yourself.
Yeah. So I'm like, we don't need to give Dawson shit for this penalty when he was not the only one who put them in this situation. And also, Kovacevic would have blocked the shot if his stick hadn't broken.
Right.
He didn't, like, that is also just bad luck.
It happens.
And they come out.
If it hadn't been on a 4-on-3, it probably would have gone better. But it's a 4-on-3. Yep. What can you do?
So, like Shannon was saying, this game was very roller coaster, up and down, back and forth. The final score was 6-4.
What?
But 6-5. 6-5.
6-5. Okay.
Yep. 6-5.
Super.
But a lot of those shots were not scored until the third period. A lot of those goals, were not scored until the final period.
Okay.
And the Devils came out strong in the third. And immediately, Jack and Nason tie it up. They made it 4-4. And, this line continues to cook because Palat and Jack capitalized on a beautiful turnover. Instead of giving up a turnover, they capitalize on the turnover and score. Brat got credit for this goal because it bounced off his skate. But, I really think credit for this play goes to, all three of them, but Palat and Jack really set this up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, we're tied up. We're back in it. We just got to stay in it. And you get some good old weird reffing. Timo gets tripped up. There was kind of an egregious hit on Palat. And again, the Devils didn't get any penalties out of it, whatever. And was this a home game as well?
This was, it was home.
This is what I'm saying. Another home game with just some weird reffing.
Coincidence?
And the Devils seem like maybe they'll come back. And then they break my heart with 8 minutes left in the third. And they let the vegetable man Radish take the lead. And in classic Devils form, they can't just give up one. No. Seconds later, they have to let the Caps score again immediately. And this was a tragic goal. Allen is trapped behind net. You might be wondering, why is he there? We're all wondering, why is he there? Nico's left alone and defend the net. And let me tell you, he will not be playing goalie on my fuck ass imaginary team.
No, Lucas.
When I put all the players in different positions.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Multi-talented man, goalie's not for him.
No, that's reserved for Luke Hughes.
The Caps sneak the puck out from behind the net. And obviously it goes right in this essentially open net. Nico's there, but what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, what can you do? And I'm like, you could hear. I wasn't even in there was silence from Newark across North Jersey. You could just hear the shock, and you might be thinking, that's it. The game's over. The Devils just gave up 2 back to back.
I thought so.
No, then Nason has to go and bring them within 1 when they pulled the goalie on the power play.
And it actually worked.
And it fucking worked.
I know. And I got my hopes up. So high that they could just make it, just draw it out to the end of the third. Yeah.
And they tried. They genuinely tried.
They did.
They tried maybe a little too late because the third period, they tried. But they couldn't dig themselves out of the hole that they had created in the first and second period and then deepened in the third period.
Yeah, just slightly too late in the game for them to come back from it.
It was tragic. It was so sad because they got so close. And I'm not saying they deserved to win that game because quite frankly, it was not their tightest game that they've played. It was a little sloppy.
It wasn't, but they got their spirit back eventually. It was just too late.
The hardest thing about this game, though, was watching the fan response. All the doomers really came out. All of the people who were all like, sell the goalies, start over again. They all suck. Send Dawson Mercer to the moon. I was like,
damn, guys. It's one game.
One game. It's okay. It's
all right.
One game.
I get we wanted to win it. It's the last Capitals, game for a little while. But chill out. Sorry.
The media
I like our goalies.
chose to interview Jake Allen in the post-game interviews. And that's just absolutely diabolical.
That's cruel.
And he took the whole blame for that game and for that goal that he couldn't dig out of the back of the net. And he's like, I just couldn't get it out and they were able to steal it from me. And then the net was open and they scored. And my heart broke because I was like, baby boy.
Yeah.
The team wasn't doing
it's
so
not
hot.
just you.
It wasn't that one goal. There were
it was just one goal that he was not there for. That
the final score was 5-6. They could have stopped any of those other goals.
Yes.
Yep.
And I liked that in response to that interview. I think it was Bryce and Bill and Dano. I don't remember which combination of them was there. But they did point out that he had actually played very well at the start of the game and had kept. It was the only reason they were able to stay in it to even attempt to make a comeback in the third.
Yeah.
And I also loved how offended Keith. I keep calling him Keith. Keith looked in his post-game interview with the media when a reporter asked about Jake Allen and that one thing. And he was like, no, I thought Jake Allen played well. And that was just one bad moment. It's not, what sold the game. And also someone asked, like a reporter asked Keefe why Dawson looked so lost during the game. And the dirty look that Keefe gave him, Keefe was like, he looked lost. Like the look he had was as if like his own son had just been offended. And I just love that energy, because I'm not saying Dawson Mercer is perfect, but I do think he brings something to the team. And I think people just pick him as a whipping boy.
Yep.
I think, he's the new Holtz this year. People are just hating on him.
Yeah. Because you can't shit talk Nico or Brat or Jack. People will try every once in a while with Timo, but for the most part, people generally like him, I say. Sometimes they'll say he's like he costs too much money. That's the most I see about him. But Dawson Mercer is the one that people pick on.
It's so interesting. I am happy though that like Keefe obviously recognizes that it's ridiculous, and it's good to see. You just love to know the coach knows his players better than the fans do, because that's why he's the coach. That's why he's there. And it's also nice just to see him have his back as well.
Yeah, because I think it's one of those things too that sometimes when the whole team is just having a bad night, some players are just going to seem to have, like Jake Allen and Dawson Mercer maybe looked like they were in the middle of some of those messier plays, but that's not necessarily because they were doing something wrong. It's because the whole team was struggling.
Exactly.
And if you're just the unlucky one who gets caught up in the play that goes the worst, now it's not one person.
Yeah. It's team.
Yeah.
For a reason.
It's a team sport.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is good that Keefe, has their backs, because I can't imagine Lindy Ruff doing that. In that interview, Lindy Ruff would have deliberately sought out Dawson Mercer and made some, snippy comment about how he doesn't know the game well or something like that.
Sarah, you also have to tell me about your one note, because I thought it was so funny about The Sopranos.
Oh yeah. During the one time where Timo kind of got knocked into the net and they weren't sure where the puck was underneath him and the goalie and all of that. So they had to send it up to the Toronto Overlords to evaluate the play. And they played the Sopranos theme while they were doing that.
I didn't notice that.
Yes. Well, I'm very familiar with it now. I finished the show.
That's actually hilarious.
So to me, this means that the Devils being owned by the mafia is confirmed.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that is a confirmed conspiracy theory.
This is what confirmed it for me. Yeah.
And that's actually, I think, why we have this wacky reffing, because I think the Toronto Overlords are in a rival gang.
It's all adding up. It's starting to make sense.
Listen, all I'm saying is the Danbury Trashers might have left us, but their legacy might still be with us. Did they really? Mike Rupp.
Could you imagine if everyone has like a Danbury Trashers like inside the jersey, like all the Devils jerseys reversibly
the Trashers, and in the middle of the game they take their jerseys off and they turn them inside out, and then Trashy comes out.
Oh my god!
Stop. It'd be so funny.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go just search Netflix Danbury Trashers. Best episode you'll ever watch in your life.
Yep.
It's amazing. Can we talk about the game we want to talk
I would absolutely love to talk about this final game.
Let's talk about
this final game, man.
All like woo. So many woos.
Woo. Five woos.
Please, like, tell your dad I'm sorry, Sarah, but like,
nah, I won't. I was rubbing it in. It's fine.
What a good flipping game. This is the second one in the list. I would have loved to have been there in person during the third period.
Yeah.
I even thought about it, and I said to myself, Madison Square Garden games are too expensive to justify going to.
Mm-hmm.
But this would have been worth it.
It would have been worth it. This is the December 2nd game that will go down in infamy, in celebration. Our first game against the Rangers for the season at Madison Square Garden. Can you tell me about this? Just tell me about it.
Okay. I have no doubt, if we asked any Rangers fans about this game, they're going to give us all the excuses, the trade rumors, the Rangers were like kicking them while they're down. They're just in this super bad streak. It's not that the Devils are better. And somehow it's not going to be their fault that they lost to the Devils. But to quote one of my favorite Alley quotes, I don't care. I don't care. We won. We took this opportunity and we won. We crushed it. We played well. And it was gorgeous. We didn't let this get away from us. Who cares if the Rangers are having a bad day? That means we're having a good day.
Yeah.
By definition.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I sat down, start eating dinner, and was it Dawson who scored first?
I think it was.
Dawson.
We heard people talk.
His was second, actually.
Second? Who scored first?
I missed both of them.
Oh my
Brat
God.
did,
Brat.
but
And it was like minutes since the game. And I just hear the goal horn. I look up from my soup and I'm like, no way. This is real. We scored.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First. And then immediately after there was another. And then I was like, producer, break out the soju. I'm drinking. I'm watching this game and I'm drinking.
Get out the champagne. This is going to be a
celebratory
celebration.
soju.
What a good game. I have one moment I want to highlight later on about our special teams, but Sarah, can you take me through some of these moments?
Absolutely. Yeah. Brat almost got a shorty not too long after that. Just because the Devils are just like, we're going to kick your asses already. It ends up 5-on-3 at one point because the Rangers are tripping some people, and Dougie gets another classic Dougie goal and scores.
Love it.
And then Jack has one later on where he does the coolest thing in the entire world.
Oh my gosh.
He like goes to fake the guy out. He spins around with the puck and then shoots it in with one hand. This caused a little bit of controversy later on.
Really?
This is not the one that caused the controversy.
It's not?
No, it's not.
This isn't the one?
It was in that vein, but it wasn't that exact play.
We'll come back to it.
No.
Well, then. All right. Because, Jack did get another one, but all I wrote was LMAO. So, I don't know.
But this was Jack's fucking game. Everyone was playing
Jack's
great.
Game, yeah.
But Jack Hughes owns New York and he's living rent free.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like, we're down a couple people, but it didn't matter.
No.
Like the people that we brought up, it was beautiful. I just loved that even though we weren't like our full selves, didn't matter because the chemistry is paying off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the moment that
when you have a solid core, it's okay if you have to like swap out a couple of the other players.
Right.
That
is change things around a little bit because the core is still there.
Right. And like how they talk about like a team with depth.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Yep.
It's a good skill to have for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is. Yeah.
What's going on with Shesterkin?
Not that they'll be playing the Rangers in the playoffs, because like you said, Shesterkin is having a hard time lately.
Yeah.
He's Vanna-checking, you could say.
Yes.
Where they kind of hyped him up a whole lot, and then he's just crumbling.
What is going on?
In a similar way. I don't know.
Honestly,
I honestly
feel bad.
Yeah,
I
me too.
have suspicions.
Oh, tell me.
Well, I think it's because of the contract. Because I don't think things have been signed and the number was so high. And because he would be setting a precedent. And then it was like, where do I go? Because it's like, I'm the most valuable player on this team. I deserve to get paid like it, but it's obviously going to go over the cap, which is the whole other thing with Trouba. And it's just like, you're good. And it's just crazy because I cannot imagine the pressure of not having my contract signed and then having to hold up that standard of like, you need to pay me like this. And I think he's cracking under a little because he's not proving that he needs to get paid like that. And I think it has something to do, like, I think it's a big mental game right now.
You know that locker room must have rancid vibes.
Oh, yes. Must be terrible in there. It doesn't seem like they like each other very much.
Like, it's your captain.
Yeah.
That's in trade.
I don't like him either.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just bizarre. Like, I know we talked about this. I think we talked about this last season as much as like we don't like Trouba. Apparently, Allie likes Trouba.
That was a joke. Don't worry about it.
He might be a good person off the ice.
Yeah. Good guy, artist Trouba is fine.
But
hockey player Trouba,
he
not my favorite.
clearly carries the spirit for the Rangers. Like there's something
the fans would disagree. They've wanted him gone for a while.
They want him out.
They don't like him.
Yeah. Nope.
Well, I get a totally different read when I watch the games. Granted, I'm watching as the Devils fans, but I do feel like he just brings a vibe. But now the vibe is like extra bad.
He matches the vibe of what we as Devils fans have of the Rangers,
right?
But not what Rangers fans want for their team. Like this is not the Rangers fans are actually not very happy with their team right now. They want a lot of these guys traded away.
My dad was saying it's time for a rebuild.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know. Maybe this will be the final straw. I thought it was going to be, like next day they were going to make like a panic trade for one or both of them. Hasn't happened yet, but who knows?
It's crazy how quickly things change.
Yeah. I'm still delighted about this win, but
absolutely.
Because
the only thing that would have made it better would have been a Jack Hughes hat trick. He was close.
Was waiting for it. Mm-hmm. But I do want to highlight one of my favorite moments of this game. I think it was a penalty kill. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah. But Pesce broke his stick. And in the moment, you could see he looked at the bench. He knew they were in the Devils' defensive zone. And they were just like, I don't have the time. I'm going to use my body. And he just plops like belly flop on the ice to block a puck. And it worked. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he gets up. You could tell that hurt. And Erik Haula's like, oh my gosh, take my fucking stick. You need to take it. But in the moment, he gives Pesce his stick, which I love that we're doing this. Like every time Pesce breaks his stick, somebody hands it to him.
This happened in the Predators game as well.
And then Erik Haula, the puck is coming to him and he does a body flop onto the ice, blocks the puck again. And this happens I know I'm breaking this down, but this happened so fast.
It did.
Then the next moment, because it was another rebound, because it bounced off of Haula's body, the Rangers shoot again, but Pesce, using Haula's stick, blocks the shot and gets it out of the zone. And you just you could hear the Devils fans in MSG.
Yeah, that was insane.
Pesce does amazing things. Just using his body as a shield.
Yeah.
Constantly.
And I think these types of plays and this level of just awareness is what's going to get us to and partially through the playoffs. Like it's these moments.
Awareness is definitely key because I remember that being something we commented on last season, that they, regardless of how well or poorly they were playing, they just never seemed to know what was going on. They seemed to be confused by where the puck is. They seemed to be confused by where their own teammates were. They just all seemed
They were playing catch up a lot.
Yeah. And this time, especially in this game, they were focused.
Able to improvise now.
Yeah.
What a great game.
The echo of the Devils fans cheering at the end because the arena was almost completely empty because all of the Rangers fans had left.
All those videos of them just pouring out, even though there's no quit in New York.
All quit in New York.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Oh, I remember Dano and Bill commenting on it. It's like you could hear the Devils fans in here right now. There was like a "Let's Go Devils" chant came through the broadcast at MSG. I was like, woo-hoo-hoo.
You know what the only downsides of this Rangers downfall is?
What?
It makes them less likely to be a playoff contender. And besides the fact that I just find it fun to play a rival in the playoffs.
That's fair. Yeah, that was really enjoyable.
It's also leaves other potential teams are in arenas much farther away, which puts more traveling into the game.
That is a good point.
Like the nice thing about the Devils Rangers, if they're like the first series, is that they're right across the river.
Yes. And I love how I wrote away next to this game. It's an MSG. It's basically a home game.
It's basically a home game.
I bet it's closer for some of them.
Yeah.
than New York.
And especially because I don't know if they fly to Washington. I think they might take the bus because it's not that.
That's a good question.
far.
I don't know.
I think they
Probably
drive.
do. I think they do.
I don't know.
So that like I think like a Washington series would be exhausting.
That would be awful. Yeah.
I don't. Bill and Dano better not have like spoken that into existence because I don't want that at all.
I don't know either.
If it were to start today with the standings as they are, we would be playing Carolina in the first round, though. So
that's also deeply unpleasant.
I don't like that either, but
okay, Rangers, you need to get your shit together.
So the Rangers kind of need to get their shit together.
Get back into this. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No quit in New York. Let's go.
Hey, their
Work Island.
flags say they'll make it. So
right. All right. Take those flags down and burn them and get to work.
All right. Let's talk about some fights this week and get into our Skircuffle Award, because this is where we give awards to the most cinematic fights of the week. I'm going to be honest. There were no cinematic fights this week. The closest I got was Kovacevic versus Rasmussen first period during the Red Wings game. Clearly in retaliation for everything that happened with Jack Hughes the game before. And also, I think there was a bad collision in a play prior they were talking about. But the thing that was most distracting about this fight was the music they played before the puck dropped. It was like a pirate like jaunt. Like I don't even like a pirate jig. Like it was like inspirational in a way where I'm like, I want a mug in one hand and I'm gonna start swinging with the other. Like it just gave me this vibe. It was like bar fight. So I thought that was,
they were kind of like they were instigating.
They're setting the scene. Yeah.
I would fight too if I heard this pirate jaunt. I'd be in it.
Fair enough.
And I would say watching Kovacevic these past 2 weeks, I have learned he is not a boxer. He is a wrestler. He does not throw punches when he gets into his skircuffles. He's more like, I'm going to grapple you and take you down to the ice, which is basically what happened with Rasmussen. So I do like the idea of not throwing punches. I'm going to say there wasn't really a clear winner here, even though people say it was Rasmussen. But the point I really wanted to make about Kovacevic starting to throw himself into some of these scuffles is I think we have somebody in each of our defensive pairs now that are willing to tussle. I really like this aggressive presence that we're putting forward now. And it's just nice to know we have that.
Yeah.
So we've never had it before.
No.
Hey, Allie. What are our whispers on the Twitter wins this week?
All right. I got first a follow-up for you on a topic from last week in which we talked about Brecky Hill wearing a Nico Hischier jersey. And I said that
there's a follow-up?
Nico and she should date to be like hee hee ha ha funny.
Okay.
Well, bad news for you, Nico. I'm sorry. Brecky Hill is, in fact, busy breaking up Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan.
Wait, really?
Yes. He apparently cheated on Sabrina with Brecky. And they are like maybe now with him. Yeah.
Wait, she's that famous?
Brecky? I guess. I don't know. I'm not a middle school boy, so. But
fair enough. Weird. Okay.
Yeah. So Sabrina was doing a concert and she's on tour. She was in LA.
Wow.
And apparently Barry didn't go to her last show because he was like making out with Brecky at a bar in LA, which is where Brecky lives. So I don't think she and Nico would have ever worked out. That's on the other side of the coast.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So my hee hee ha ha was never going to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's probably for the best. Nico deserves better than that.
This is the only thing anyone's been talking about online. How do you guys feel about Instagram hockey?
What's Instagram hockey?
What does that even mean?
You know? We don't know. So
Neither does Jack.
Neither does Jack. You you referenced this earlier. So during the Rangers game, Jack had a couple of really beautiful breakaways on Shesterkin.
Yes.
And he scored twice. One was that fun little
the twirly
move that Sarah described. But I believe after that, he had another breakaway that it wasn't able to score on.
No, but the breakaway was beautiful.
Yes.
It was awesome.
And he did that very classic thing where as he approached the goal, he kind of waffled.
Yes.
Kind of like, it almost looks, he kind of like dribbles. You know, like he's trying to decide if he wants to fake left, fake right. And he's kind of just being a little fancy in front of the net. Kind of, you know, trying to hypnotize the goalie. You don't see me. He does this shit all the time. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating as, you know, someone who's watched a lot of Jack Hughes. It's breakaways. It can also be because you're just like, just shoot. And but anyway, that's like just always how he does his breakaway shots, right? He did it like what he always does.
Yeah.
And some Rangers announcer named Valley, that's like a nickname.
Okay.
Yeah. Decided that this is Instagram hockey, that it's like some showboaty type move that Jack was doing to humiliate Shesterkin.
Okay, we need to record because people cannot see me rolling my eyes into the back of my head. That's what they mean by Instagram hockey.
Because he's like, oh, this isn't like a real shot.
It was like showy, I guess.
This is like a trick shot that you would see on Instagram, not something anyone would ever try in a game. Yeah. Well, clearly they did because he just did.
And also, this guy was like, back in my day, this wouldn't have, flown or whatever. This guy played like 45 games total in the NHL, I think it was.
Not even a full season.
So, my dude.
He was like, back in my day, the guys would have come off the bench to beat him up for embarrassing their goalie like that. Like, I think your goalie's embarrassing himself.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Also, Shesterkin blocked it.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. If anything, Jack waffled. Hockey is too fast for Jack to be like, I'm embarrassing the goalie with this breakaway. Like, no way. No way.
It just really read like an old man who's bitter that kids these days can do cool tricks that they didn't do when he was younger.
Yikes.
Oh man, this kid is so much better than I ever could have been. I gotta make fun of him.
Like, yeah, Jack does try some fancier, trickier moves that a lot of people wouldn't risk trying in an NHL game.
Right.
But that's why it's fun to watch him. Because sometimes it works. And it also just makes the game more interesting and more fun and kind of also changes what you expect out of a hockey player. Because Jack, people love to talk. He's not like small, but people love to talk about all the time how he's smaller than your average hockey player. He's like 5'11", or he's probably really 5'10", but whatever. And he's like not like, he's like more slender than some of his teammates. Yeah. And so it's actually kind of fun watching the way he plays because it's really creative. And I think it's cool that there are probably other kids out there who could like watch this and get inspired by it and just create more fun, interesting plays. Don't get butthurt that you're an old man and you can't do his fun little Instagram tricks. Also, it's not Instagram hockey anymore, Grandpa. It's TikTok hockey. Get with the times.
I'm glad that's what it is. Hockey. Yeah, because where my brain went, what I thought Instagram hockey was not good.
Oh, what?
So, nope, not getting into it because we're not going to worry about it.
We're not going to worry about that, Shannon.
Because this is the segment where we don't worry about it. Because sometimes I'm seeing random shit and the announcers do it too. I have new goals, guys. So when we were, again, at the Predators games, you could tell all the college kids were back in town.
Oh, yeah. It was Thanksgiving week.
Oh, really?
The nosebleeds, I almost wanted to go up there because they were partying.
Yeah, it was popping in the 200s.
And the Jumbotron gets a fan walking down the stairs. He has a ski mask on and what I assume were twisted tees because they were two yellow cans. And he noticed he was on the Tron. He's like, oh. And he pretends that he's skiing down the stairs and that these cans are his ski poles and does like the swaying side to side motion.
So funny.
That was incredible. So like new Jumbotron goals.
Nice.
I wanted to catch me skiing down the nosebleeds.
We did end up on the Jumbotron again this game and missed it again.
This keeps happening to you, huh?
Yeah. Next he's got a terrific set of mittens on him. Oh, sorry. I read this as
better.
I like mittens better. I think we should make that the quote.
It should be.
He's just got a terrific little set of mittens on him.
Yeah, like a little cat.
Yeah. Cat mittens.
Well,
Kitten mittens.
I'll move on.
Mittens, yeah.
Nashville creates time and space.
Physics.
Someone should let Neil deGrasse Tyson know.
Oh my gosh. That's a name I haven't thought of in a while.
No, me neither. That was Roman's joke. I stole it.
Next now it's time for him to go to work. And this is about Nico.
Go to work, Nico. You have a paycheck.
He's already at work.
He's already
this
at
is job.
Work. He's already fantastic.
This is it.
The man never leaves work.
Yeah.
Panarin has had the gun going all night.
Oh.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't like this one.
So let's not worry about it.
We're not going to worry about it.
And move on into our It Boy of the Week.
Oh, this is going to be a hard one.
I know who it has to be.
I know who I'm nominating.
I mean, there's two great options.
Two. Well,
yeah.
I can think of two
I know
as well.
Who I'm nominating, but
I don't know if we're thinking the same thing, but it's possible that we are.
Man, I only had one name come to mind this week.
I know who I'm voting for, but
Me
I just
too.
think there are two good options.
Okay.
Who's your nomination, Shannon?
I'm scared to say it out loud.
Who is it?
Because it's only going to happen now and never again.
Who is it?
Never again.
My nomination this week is Nico Hischier for his first hat trick with the Devils. Like you just got to highlight it. But I need to know who's the other person you're thinking about.
Jack Hughes.
Oh,
he owns New York.
You're right. He does own New York.
You want to know who I was going to say?
Oh, there's a third option?
Ooh.
There's a third option. I nominate Nico's mustache.
For all the hard work he did for us.
Rip. No, not really. I nominate Nico.
See, we need to focus on Nico because we're nominating too many Nico adjacent things, and this is going to throw off his It Boy of the Year stats at the end. So I really need him to start collecting these.
Yes, because Nico's mustache will be separate from Nico.
I know. This is a problem that I have created that I must now amend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, I obviously nominate Nico. He fucking rocks. The team is nowhere without him.
It just...
I DM'd Nico on Instagram after this because I was so happy after this game. He's never going to see it. But I did. I was like, wow, you did so good. I'm so happy. And I'm sure he's never going to see that message. But I was just so swept away in the excitement of how happy he looked and how happy everyone looked after that hat trick.
I'm sure he gets
I wanted him to know.
Like hundreds and thousands, but you are brave. I could never do it.
I DM a lot of people.
On the off chance he read it.
They all ignore me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, Nico, you deserve it. You're It Boy of this week.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Our Spotify Wrapped told us that our creator personality is the storyteller. So
it's actually because we don't know how to shut up.
Yeah, it had something to do with the length of episodes in ratio to the amount of episodes that we publish and the amount of countries that we are listened to in. I don't know. They didn't elaborate at all. They just said that and left much in the way that I do. So Nico's the storyteller, whatever that may mean.
Sure. Oh,
Sarah could only see like a floating pointer finger.
I see.
Just a little teaser for the listeners. If you've made it this far,
yes,
we are going to be doing a special end of the year video once again.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do a special live dramatic reading.
Live? It's going to be live?
No, it's not going to be live, but it's going to be.
I was like, oh no, I don't know how to do this.
We will be alive.
Okay.
That's
while
true.
We read it.
Yep.
We're gonna read with our mouths the words of one of these TikTok hockey books. We're gonna pick one. If you have suggestions, DM them to me on any of the platforms.
Yeah, or comment on this episode. wherever you get your podcasts. Let us know.
What smut do you want to hear come out?
I'm going to burst into flames.
Yep.
This is Hot Girls Hockey. Tune in next week for more sugar,
Spice,
and everything ice.
If you like our show, please leave us a rating. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube and TikTok, and tweet at us at hotgirlshockey_. Bye, Shannon.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Ellen.